What caused the downfall of the company that once produced 40% of the world's mobile phones? Why is New York City slowly sinking? How can your credit score affect your everyday life? And how can a horse actually save your life? In this video, you'll discover fascinating facts like these from a variety of topics. This is the first video on my channel, so if you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe. Fact 1. Imagine tuning into a radio drama in 1938 and hearing what sounded like live news reports about a Martian invasion. That's exactly what happened with Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast. A slice of listeners who joined late thought it was real and called police in a panic. But here's the twist. Later research shows that the whole idea of mass nationwide hysteria was largely blown out of proportion by newspapers. It still stands as a powerful reminder of how believable storytelling can trick our brains. Fact 2. Remember when people couldn't stop talking about Elon Musk crossing $100 billion? Fast forward to late 2025. Musk's fortune rocketed from around $400 billion in December 2024 to over $700 billion thanks to Tesla's stock rally and an $800 billion valuation for SpaceX. He ended 2025 sitting at roughly $726 billion. No one has ever come this close to $1 trillion net worth, but he's not there yet. Fact 3. Here's a wild fact. Antivenom comes from horses. Scientists draw venom from snakes, inject tiny harmless doses into horses, and wait for the animals to build antibodies. Blood is drawn, the plasma is purified to isolate the antivenom, and that serum saves thousands of people every year. Without horses, snakebite medicine as we know it wouldn't exist. Fact 4. Think back to the mid-2000s when nearly everyone had a Nokia phone. At its peak, the company owned over 40% of the global mobile market. But as smartphones emerged, Nokia clung to its aging Symbian operating system and was late to adopt touchscreens and apps. Meanwhile, Apple and Android brands sprinted ahead. A series of missteps, including an uneasy partnership with Microsoft, led to Nokia's decline. By the mid-2010s, its reign was over. Fact 5. The U.S. national debt passed $38 trillion in late 2025. That's a mind-boggling number, and it's not just an accounting problem. Interest payments alone are nearing $1 trillion a year, which means less money for education and infrastructure. Economists warn that millennials and Gen Z will bear the brunt through higher taxes and fewer government services. In other words, the debt isn't some abstract number. It could shape the financial lives of younger Americans for decades. Fact 6. For years, people joked about China copying Western products. Those days are fading fast. Patent data show that Chinese companies are filing more international patents and moving into advanced sectors like machinery and high-tech equipment. Research from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis shows that China's technological profile is converging with advanced economies, meaning it's becoming a genuine innovator. It's not just about cheaper goods anymore, it's about cutting-edge tech too. Fact 7. Ever notice how many old portraits show men with one hand tucked into their waistcoat? It wasn't because they had stomach aches. The pose dates back to classical Greek orators and was seen as a sign of gentlemanly restraint and confidence. By the 18th century, it signified manly boldness tempered with modesty. Sure, artists liked that it made hands easier to paint, but for viewers, it signaled composure and status. Fact 8. There's some truth behind the viral headlines. New York City is sinking, but not like a disaster movie. New research shows the land under the city is subsiding by about 1 to 2 millimeters a year. That's less than 1/10 of an inch. The causes include the weight of its skyscrapers, natural settling since the last ice age, and compaction from man-made fill. Combine that with rising sea levels and stronger storms, and you get more frequent flooding. Hurricane Sandy in 2012 and Hurricane Ida in 2021 were wake-up calls. The takeaway: it's a slow-motion problem that city planners can and should prepare for. Fact 9. Imagine paying $250,000 for an unlimited first-class flight pass for life. That's exactly what American Airlines offered in 1981. Fewer than 30 people bought these passes. Over time, Two particularly dedicated flyers cost the airline about $1 million a year each in lost revenue. By 1994, the airline stopped selling the passes, and in 2008 it revoked the most abused ones, sparking lawsuits. The idea seemed brilliant until it became one of the costliest promotions in aviation history. Fact 10. Before toilet paper was invented, Americans used corn cobs. In the 1800s and into the early 1900s, rural families and farmers kept them in outhouses. Corn was everywhere. The cobs were free, and they worked well enough. They were rough, but better than leaves and other common materials at the time. In 1857, Joseph Gaiety introduced the first commercial toilet paper, but it was expensive, so most people didn't switch. By the early 1900s, mass production made toilet paper softer, cheaper, and widely available. Indoor plumbing made it more practical, and corn cobs were gradually replaced. Fact 11. Many people are curious about how IQ tests work, and the process is actually simpler than most people expect. The most accurate way to measure IQ is through a licensed psychologist who uses officially standardized tests. In many cases, schools also offer IQ testing for students as part of educational evaluations. Although there are many IQ tests available online, most of them are designed mainly for entertainment and are not scientifically reliable. Because of this, their results should be taken with caution. Most importantly, it's worth remembering that IQ is just one number. It does not measure creativity, emotional intelligence, or practical problem-solving skills, and it does not define a person's overall intelligence. Fact 12. A lot of people believe that cash is king in America, but in reality, your credit score often matters more. Approximately 70% of adults in the US have a credit score of 670 or higher, which is generally considered good or better. Around 20 to 25% have exceptionally high scores above 800, placing them in the top tier of borrowers. On the other hand, roughly 1/3 of Americans have credit scores below 670, which can limit their financial options. A score below 580 is classified as poor credit and typically results in higher interest rates or difficulty qualifying for loans. Low credit scores can affect everyday life, from renting an apartment to financing a car, and even qualifying for postpaid mobile phone plans, which often require a credit check. Fact 13. Have you ever wondered why China manufactures so many of the world's products, yet its economy is still smaller than America's? In nominal terms, based on 2026 estimates, the United States remains the world's largest economy. US GDP is projected at approximately $31.8 trillion, compared to about $20.7 trillion for China, using market exchange rates that reflect global prices and currency strength. China dominates global manufacturing volume. It produces massive quantities of electronics, clothing, and industrial machinery. However, much of this output comes from low value-added assembly work. In many cases, products are designed, patented, branded, and marketed elsewhere. As a result, the highest profits from innovation, research and development, software, and premium branding flow to US companies like Apple, Nike, and Tesla. At the same time, China is rapidly closing the gap. It is building its own high-value global champions, including Huawei and BYD, particularly in telecommunications and electric vehicles. Another key difference lies in economic structure. The US economy is primarily service-based, with services making up around 78% of GDP compared to roughly 57% in China. Per capita GDP highlights the gap even more clearly, about $93,000 per person in the United States versus around $15,000 in China. In the end, true economic strength isn't just about producing more, it's about capturing value. If any of these facts caught your attention, let me know the fact number in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share it with your friends. And if you'd like to see part 2, let's reach 1,000 likes.